Hey, welcome back to Danford Golf Instruction. Today we're going to talk about two different types of shoulder turns. We're going to talk about the proper shoulder turn, what that does to the club face, how it basically helps your overall golf swing, and then we're going to talk about the other type of shoulder turn that can really feel like you're doing it right, but it can cause issues with your club face and definitely issues with your swing plane. So as always, I hope you subscribe to our channel. If you have any questions down below, make sure that you leave us a comment, and we'll get going on which shoulder turn is correct and which one we should probably fix. The first shoulder turn that we're going to talk about is more of the improper shoulder turn. It's more of the tilt of a shoulder turn. So if we just stand straight up and down, all right, this is our shoulders turning, okay? I see a lot of golfers who try to turn their shoulders and it turns into more of a tilt, okay? And you can see a few issues happening right away. When you tilt, your head tends to drive more down towards the golf ball and your weight gets onto your toes. So automatically you're closer to the ball, your head has got closer to the ball, your weight's gone to your toes. And so if you're somebody who struggles with early extension, it's very easy then to either, you're going to start to learn to do that, to stand up out of it, get your head back up to more of a level position, and then you're going to hit a lot of stuff right. If you actually tilt under and you stay down, you're going to be the person who is way behind it. Okay, so that is one of the problems with that shoulder tilt rather than a shoulder turn. So from face on, it's more of a tilt. The other thing you're going to see is my head tends to go to the left, all right? And so most of those slicers are gonna go there and then they're going to bounce back out of it and hit that big high slice to the right. So just because you've turned your shoulder wrong, you see already three things that can cause your golf swing to really struggle. The other thing with the shoulder turn that ends up being more of a tilt is the hands don't have a chance to get deep. The hands get really high up here, all right? And when the hands don't get deep, it turns into more of a lift and a drop. So now we've got four issues just because we've turned our shoulders incorrectly, okay? And the final thing is when you get into that position and you tilt, the club face is going to be closed. So you're going to lift it, you're going to stand up out of it, you're going to make so many different corrections just because you thought you were turning your shoulders correctly, but in fact you were tilting them, and it becomes kind of a disaster right off the bat. Even if you have great hands and great timing, if you work on that really hard, you might be able to hit a few good shots, but it's going to be really hard for you to be consistent. So now we're going to cover the second type, all right, which is the proper shoulder turn. So when it comes to a shoulder turn, I think what you'd always think about more of your rib cage, because your rib cage is going to actually be the thing turning your spine. So number one, I want you to think about that. Secondly, what does it do to the club face? So if I stand straight up and down, you can see the club face, or the bottom of the club, matches my spine. If I turn from there, it still matches my spine. So if you're turning correctly, when you get to that position too, that club face should still match your spine. It shouldn't be open. It shouldn't be down towards the ground. All right, so you're going to notice that the club face matches the spine. The other thing you're going to notice is that my shoulders are going to feel like, if you're somebody who's that tilter, you're going to feel like your right shoulder has to go down for you to do this. But your shoulders are just going to feel like they turn right on top of your spine, right on top of your hips. It's going to be pretty simple that way. Okay? It's going to be much more level if you're somebody who struggles with tilting. So automatically, it gets our face into a really good position, and since you're turning your shoulders, all right, when you get your hands to the top, they automatically start to get more of a deeper position, which is much easier to make that club be shallow, right? If you're tilting, you're going to have a lot of steep, a lot of club over the top moves. This way, it's going to be much easier for you to drop. You're also going to get more power because you're turning your shoulders versus tilting. So you can see, my shoulders don't turn a whole lot from there, but from here, shoulders turn a lot. Got the club face in a really good position. It's going to help with your timing, get you more power. All the positions that we kind of look for just become a whole lot easier just because you're actually turning your shoulders rather than tilting them. It's also going to make it easier for you to shallow that club out, get more power. It's going to be harder for you to throw it over the top, because usually over the top, people, their hands are up top and they just come straight down. From here, if you come straight down with your hands deep, you're already going to be in more of a easier position to get into that shallow slot that we always want to get into. So I hope you understand the difference between our shoulder tilt and our shoulder turn, what the club face looks like, what your body does, and some of the disasters if you're thinking you're doing it right, but you might actually be doing it wrong. So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe, and we'll see you back here in a week.